Hello everybody and welcome back to my series of Supervive champion guides. Today we'll be looking at Oath. Oath is a protector who functions mostly like Reinhardt from Overwatch. He has a large shield blocking enemy damage, a lot of CC, but he also has a great heal and very powerful revive mechanic that if you can use, is very game changing as a matter of fact. So yeah, let's get into all of that right now. Starting off with Oath's passive, Knockout. When Oath knocks an enemy into a wall, they're stunned for a short duration. This synergizes with some of their abilities, you'll see later on. And it's just a great extra bit of CC that can really have a monumental impact on team fights, essentially. His main ability, really, is his hammer. On a tap, he will throw his hammer at range, and then you can recast to recall it. But on a hold, he will charge up his hammer for a powerful shot, which will deal high damage in a short range and knock enemies back, again synergizing with the passive. An important thing to note here with his hammer for later is when you tap, you can throw it and it will stay there until you recall. So this will synergize with his E, which has its effect on the hammer, so we'll see that in a second. His right mouse button is barrier shield. Hold to create a shield, blocking all damage from the front, and while shielded you can use left shift to empowered bash. Essentially, the shield scales with your max health. I think it ranks up, I don't know if we can see the details, it ranks up from 60, 75, 90, but if your shield is fully broken, you'll get locked out of it, right, and it won't regen for a couple seconds. So ideally you want to take a lot of damage but not quite ever let it get broken so you can regen all back. Additionally important to note is that Oath, much like Gunner, will actually take more damage from behind when his shield is up. This is sort of like a big weakness of his, really, right? You have your shield up to block one enemy, but if you get flanked, you're actually quite vulnerable and quite squishy. Oath left shift, his dash, well, he pretty simply just dash attacks in a radius around him. And yeah, so when he has his shield up, however, he will instead create a bash, basically coming out of his shield that will knock back all enemies near his shield, so that's very powerful and synergizes with the passive again. Then his E, Purify Zone, creates a healing zone around your hammer, then it bursts for additional healing, and it will also initiate revives. So what's important to note here is, again, what I said earlier, where when you tap with your left mouse button, throwing your hammer, you will actually revive enemies from quite some range, which is super useful in this champ, right? So you don't have to actually be in melee range of them to initiate the revive. You can check hammer them, start the revive, get up to them, finish it, bam. Then his ultimate, which is Earth Shatter, creates a fissure that deals damage, mini stuns and slows. Pretty simple ultimate, basically, just creates this huge belt, this line really, of damage, knock up, bit like Reinhardt ult, bit like Maokai ult, right, but just a bit. It's not super strong, but it's quite useful, really, in theory. Now I'm going to be taking a look at what I believe to be the optimal build for Oath right now. So thanks to his large health scalings on his shield and his heal, I believe Tech Helmet to be his core item and to be the most high value item you can get on Oath, essentially. Gives you some ability haste, but most importantly gives you a very large amount of health, which is going to synergize with your passive shield and your E's heal. So obviously super useful. Second up, other item that gives you max health, Bladed Helmet. So this gives you movement speed, which is great. You don't really need boots because there's movement speed on this. It's going to give you ability power, which again he has some ability power usage rate on his attacks. His shield bash as well has some ability power. But also, once again, gives you max health. So this build just generally allows you to stack quite a lot of max health, which you can synergize with not only his tank playstyle, but also his individual scalings on all his abilities. If you got this far in the video, thank you for watching. I hope these tips sort of helped you. I think Oath I'm a big fan of Oath. If you see my gameplay in some of the other videos, it's mostly Oath, right? So I'm just a big fan of this champ, so I wanted to share some of my knowledge, some of my tips, especially, you know, maximizing usage of the revive, maximizing your value of the shield, etc. Anyway, yeah, so thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.